Welcome back to World Crisis Radio. So we have the infamous February 8th meeting in the Park Avenue Townhouse with Greenlight Capital, Brigade Capital, SAC Capital, Soros Fund Management, all hosted by Moniz, Crespi, Hart, and Company. Soros then was on with Fareed Zakaria, GPS on CNN, saying the euro is going to break up. They have a common central bank and a common currency. They don't have a common treasury. That's a huge vulnerability. And I'm adding now, they can't have exchange controls and capital controls. They can't devalue their currency, even though that's not such a good thing to do. They can't really protect themselves in a sovereign manner now that they've got the euro. Many problems connected to this. However, it should be clear to everybody that a catastrophic, chaotic breakup of the euro under attack by Soros and these hedge fund hyenas and asset strippers will tend to destroy the European sector of production, which right now, since the U.S. has crashed and our industries have been destroyed, is now one of the 2 or 3 centers of actual production left in the world. So this attack has genocidal overtones. You destroy production in Europe, how many will die in Africa, South Asia, and some of the poorer parts of Latin America? Because remember, German exports in particular are critical to maintain economic activity in quite a significant stretch of Africa in particular and into other areas around the world. So this is a gang of sociopaths. These are predators, and these people have got to be shut down. Now, it's not just this one cabal that's going on. We read the interesting Wall Street Journal article, again, headline, Hedge Funds Pound Euro on February 26th, last Friday. We find that there's also Paulson and Company. This is not Hank Paulson. I believe it's Jim Paulson. They've got $32 billion under management. They are buying swaps, in other words, speculating against Greece and its sovereign debt. And most significantly, the zombie bankers, the federally supported ones, the ones you paid for, the ones who took your money. And here's how they're thanking you. They're attacking world civilization. Goldman Sachs, Bank of America Merrill Lynch, and Barclays Bank PLC are helping investors place a particularly bearish bet on the euro. So this entire crisis is purely artificial. And, of course, Prime Minister Zapatero of Spain has pointed out that the Spain is under international speculative attack. And the way in which he said this indicated that he thought there was a conspiracy afoot. And, of course, at that point, the London Economist, the London Financial Times, and I guess the Wall Street Journal, too, ridicule him as a conspiracy theorist, a paranoid. The same thing as what they said about the Greeks, right, that the Greeks are all crazy, the Greeks are all paranoid conspiracy theorists. Well, messieurs of the London Economist and the Financial Times, here it is on the front page, Wall Street Journal, hedge funds pound euro, and it's a conspiratorial meeting. Now, the motivation of the individual hedge fund hyena and predator is, of course, money, power to some extent, right? The desire to remake the world according to their own, what can we say, Hobbesian view, Nietzschean view of humanity and what civilization ought to be or not be in this case. But there's also a larger political goal. And again, it's no coincidence. It's not just that these people are crazy in all directions, tous azimuts. No, they are crazy in special directions, which happen to coincide with the overall strategic line of Anglo-American finance capital. That is to say, they're attacking the euro for a reason, because they feel that this is, again, a way to drive down the euro, make a fast buck, but above all, destroy this significant alternative to the dollar. Now, again, I'm a critic of the euro. I'm an implacable critic of the European Central Bank, of Trichet, and of the Eurogarchs in general. You've been hearing all about Barroso. You've been hearing all about the Lisbon Treaty that we are against, of course, and tried to fight on this program. But, again, the chaotic breakup of the euro is not something you should want. And nothing is more stupid than to say, oh, well, the European Union, that's the mark of the beast with 666. So if Soros comes in and breaks it up, that's a great thing. No, 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 no. This is absolute strategic idiocy, right? This is trying to explain the world with a few threadbare slogans. Now, what should Greece do? Right now, the government, of course, is under an Anglo-American agent, right? This is, of course, Papandreou. It's a British agent family. We've followed them back generations. PASOK, that's supposed to be the Hellenic Socialist Party, I think. They are the Wall Street Party. They're the British Labour Party, I guess, in Greece. They don't need an austerity plan. They don't need to destroy health, education, welfare, and the social safety net. They don't need to destroy the hopes of a generation of young Greeks, right? This is if you go back to the 1820s in the time of Lord Byron, it's a country which, for any number of reasons, it's one of the cradles of our Western civilization, no doubt about it. Plato, in particular, the argument can end there, and there are quite a few others. So if you have Socrates and Plato, you've already won the sympathy of any thinking person. So we all owe something to Greece, and what we owe to Greece is to help them to defend themselves, to support them in the ways that I will now suggest, not with austerity, not by destroying a generation of human beings just because Soros, Einhorn, and Morgan of Brigade Capital decide that they want to make a fast buck for the greater glory of U.S. British finance capital. The other thing we don't need is we don't need a bailout by the European Union. Oh, my God. These bailouts are going to be bad for Germany. They're going to be bad for Greece. We don't need them. The people who are suggesting that there are ways for the European Union to bail out Greece, no, we're sick and tired of bailouts. We don't need that. And, of course, we don't need the Austrian remedy. The Austrian remedy, and we've heard it in recent weeks, is that Greece should have a deflationary crash. Everything should be liquidated, right? Liquidate stocks, liquidate bonds, liquidate labor, liquidate real estate, liquidate everything. That's a great chance for London to come in and buy everything up at bargain basement prices. But that will also destroy a generation of Greeks. So we don't need any of that. We need self-defense, right? We need the new Greek revolution. We need the new Ypsilanti's rebellion back in the 1820s. Check it out. The new Ypsilanti program goes like this. You've got to defend yourself. You need a Tobin tax. If you're being attacked by derivatives bankers, tax derivatives. Slap a 1% tax on all derivatives, exchange-traded and over-the-counter, all kinds. Options, futures, indices, those are the exchange-traded, and the structured notes or designer derivatives or counterparty derivatives over-the-counter. Tax them all at the level of 1%. That will make them reportable. That will avoid these awful situations where it is claimed that derivatives are off-balance sheet and therefore don't have to be reported, so various right-wing governments can hide their nefarious activities by engaging in derivatives transactions with Goldman Sachs. And then Goldman Sachs turns around and speculates against the euro and the Greek bonds, as we've just heard. So Tobin tax is the general talisman of turning the tables on the bankers, because the bankers are saying we want to destroy the Greek standard of living, we want to destroy the Greek public sector workers. Well, let's have the bankers line up for some sacrifice and austerity first, just as a gesture of good faith, 1% Tobin tax on them. The other thing, of course, you can do is what's known as a bear squeeze or a short squeeze, a bear trap, we might call it. We can now assume, and this, of course, has to be timed from minute to minute, that Soros and this gang of miscreants that met at the Park Avenue townhouse, they've now gone out on a limb with a big short bet. What if the Bank of Greece borrows a bunch of money, leverages that 20 times over, and immediately buys Greek bond futures to wipe out the speculators? That's a bear squeeze. Try that, a bear trap, a short squeeze. That'll make them howl all the way back to Wall Street.